Winning the crown is the dream, but keeping the spotlight after the crown is gone? That's where the real game begins. Because for every beauty queen who fades into history, there are a few who turn that one magical moment into something far bigger. Fame, power, business, influence, and empires worth millions. Today, we're looking at 4 women who mastered that transformation. But here's the interesting part. Each one took a completely different path. And trust me, the last woman on this list might surprise you the most. Before we begin, I want to know, which beauty queen do you think has built the biggest empire after pageantry? Drop it in the comments right now. And if you love deep dives into pageants, queens, and what happens beyond the stage, hit subscribe, because we're just getting started. Most people think winning a pageant is the finish line. It's not. It's the starting point. The crown gives you visibility, but visibility alone doesn't last. You need strategy, reinvention, timing, and sometimes a little risk. The first woman on this list may have created the blueprint for everyone who came after her. And honestly, without her, the modern beauty queen empire might look very different. Back in 2000, one young woman from India won one of the biggest crowns in the world. That victory changed her life forever. But what she did next changed the industry. That woman was Priyanka Jonas. Instead of simply enjoying the title, she went straight into entertainment. And not just casually, she dominated. Film after film, hit after hit. But acting was only step 1. What made her different was her vision. She understood something most title holders don't. If you stay in one lane too long, people move on. So she expanded. Books, producing, global partnerships, luxury brands. And then she made one of the boldest moves ever. Hollywood. That move could have failed, but instead it made her global. And suddenly, she wasn't just a former queen. She was a worldwide brand. And here's what makes her story even more powerful. She didn't chase opportunities. She created them. But if Priyanka built the blueprint, the next woman built something equally powerful in a completely different way. And unlike Priyanka, her empire wasn't built on acting. It was built on trust. When this queen won, she gave us one of the most iconic walks in pageant history. One walk, one moment, and the internet never forgot. That woman was Catrionagray. But what happened after her reign is what makes her truly interesting. She didn't try to be everywhere. She was selective, very selective. Hosting, music, fashion, advocacy, everything felt intentional. Nothing felt forced, and that's rare. In a world where relevance moves fast, Katrina built something stronger. Credibility. People trust her. And trust is what keeps people watching. That's why years later, she still holds massive influence. Quick pause. If you're enjoying this video so far, hit like. It really helps the channel grow and tells me you want more content like this. Because the next queen, her story may be the most unexpected. She went from one of the most chaotic crowning moments in history to building one of the strongest fashion empires in pageantry. Sometimes the world remembers your win, but forgets your journey. This queen made sure that didn't happen. The moment Piawurtzbach won, history was made, but so was controversy. And instead of letting that define her, she used it brilliantly. Pia understood the power of staying visible. She stepped into fashion, luxury campaigns, international runways, brand deals. And slowly, she transformed into something bigger than a beauty queen, a fashion authority. That's hard to do. Fashion doesn't hand out second chances, but Pia made herself impossible to ignore. And what made her stronger? Vulnerability. She shared her struggles, her personal life, her mental health. That honesty built connection, and connection builds loyalty. But while Pia mastered reinvention, the final queen on this list is still writing her story. And that's exactly what makes her dangerous, because her empire could go anywhere. Some queens inherit expectations. This queen carried an entire country's hopes, and when she won, it ended a 21-year drought. That queen was Harnaazsandhu. Her rise was explosive. Instant fame, global attention, massive expectations. But unlike the others, her empire is still being built. And that makes her the wild card. Because right now, she has something incredibly valuable: potential. She's entering film, fashion, luxury campaigns, global media. But the question is, what will she become? Will she follow the acting route, the business route, or create something completely different? That mystery is what makes her one of the most fascinating queens to watch. And honestly, her biggest chapter may still be ahead. What's fascinating about these 4 women is this: none of them used the same formula. One built through global expansion. So now I want to ask you, who built the strongest empire beyond the crown? Was it Priyanka, Katrina, Pia? Or do you think Harnaaz could eventually surpass them all? Comment below. And here's another question. Who should be on part 2? Because trust me, there are many more queens whose stories deserve to be told. Like the video if you want part 2. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one. 1 through trust, 1 through reinvention, and 1 through raw potential. Different strategies, same goal, longevity. And that's the real prize. Not the crown, but staying relevant after it. By the way, if you've made it this far, subscribe, because clearly you love pageant deep dives as much as I do. And there's so much more to unpack.